What's up, guys? Welcome back to YVT. I, of course, am your host, Andrew. So, today's video is just going to be kind of a quick overview of some of the cool stuff that I've seen so far from the Computex coverage from all the other tech tubers out there. The first thing that we're going to get into today is actually from MSI. I find it just a friggin' awesome product, and what it is, it's the MSI Meg X399 Creation. So, as you can tell, it is a Threadripper lineup. It is designed with TR2 in mind. It has improved VRMs to handle the new Threadripper 2 chips that are going to be coming out. We're going to touch on those here in just a few minutes. But it's gorgeous. It's definitely geared towards content creators, as it can actually support up to 7 NVMe drives. So you get 3 on the board, and then the motherboard actually comes with a PCIe card that you plug 4 additional M.2 NVMe drives into. So 7 total. Just absolute phenomenon as far as that kind of support goes. And then again, you got improved VRMs, all sorts of cool stuff put on there. As you can see in the picture, it is a gorgeous board. Now, if that's not your thing, we have some more stuff. Another thing that I really thought was really cool looking, and I actually kind of want to get my hands on it. It's going to be way too expensive at first, but as time goes on, I'll probably be able to afford it a lot easier. And that is G-Skill's newly announced Trident Z Royal RGB DIMMs. These things are flipping gorgeous, guys. I mean, so the plastic cover, they got rid of that diffused kind of look from the normal Trident Z. Well, they didn't get rid of it for this particular DIMM. They did, and what they replaced it with is a transparent but kind of refracted look. So it basically looks crystallized. So as the RGB LEDs shine through it, it's going to bounce the light everywhere. So it's going to look crystalline in nature. And the actual heat spreader on there was, at least the one that was shown uh, through everybody else's videos, is just this gorgeous mirrored aluminum. I'm assuming it's aluminum. I wouldn't expect them to put any like high-end kind of, or precious metal like platinum or anything like that. But so, I mean, just mirrored aluminum, just freaking gorgeous. Take a look at that right here, and take a look at the TechTuber videos that have come out regarding this RAM. It is gorgeous. The next thing on the ticket today is actually from Asus. They are coming out with 2 new lines of AIO coolers. Now, the first one is their top of the line. They're calling it the Ryujin. Now, if I slaughtered that, my apologies. But the cool thing about this is it's going to be available in 240 and 280 millimeter setups, and it doesn't use the Asetek pump style, so it's not rounded like we're used to with a lot of the other guys. It is this, I say, gigantic block of CPU cooling, basically. But what's cool about it is it incorporates, of course, the pump and the block, but also a 60 millimeter fan under the cover. And that 60 millimeter fan actually cools off your RAM DIMMs, your VRMs, assists with that cooling, and just the entire socket area in general. So you should have a better time actually cooling your setup, higher overclocks, things like that. Of course, it has adjustable RGB that can be controlled through Asus's RS Sync software. But the really cool part of this is actually that it includes a 1.7-inch OLED display. So that's right, you too can customize your AIO block with your own JPEG, your own GIF, whatever you want. So that's going to be kind of a cool feature for some folk. Now, going down to their more budget-oriented line, I forget the name, I'll have it flashed up here, but this one does use the Asetek style pump. So it's round, it's going to have multiple support, it's going to be more what we're used to as far as looks and things and functionality goes. This one will be available in 120 and 240 millimeter setups, and even though it uses the Asetek style, it keeps that 1.7-inch OLED from the Ryujin, and again, JPEG, GIF, whatever you want on there. It also does have some RGB on it, so you can control it through there. 2 more things for you guys. First, from Intel, they have announced their next high-end desktop chip, which I don't think anybody saw coming, but it is a 28-core 56 thread processor. Now, they had it running at Computex at 5 gigahertz, but it's very misleading because if you look at the chip and if you take a look at the motherboard or some of the motherboards that this has been seen running on, it actually uses the larger Xeon socket but the Skylake X architecture with that larger Xeon socket. So what it looks like they're doing is they're taking their 28 core Xeon 8680 and basically unlocking the multiplier and calling it 99. They've done it in the past, but I mean, it's their product. You do what you got to do to remain competitive. So they thought they dropped the bomb because AMD had only been announcing or had been teasing and hinting at a 24 core Threadripper. So Intel came out with this 28 core running at 5 gigahertz, and everybody, or most of the press, has been talking about, oh, 5 gigahertz 28 core coming this year and everything like that. Guys, this thing was hooked up to basically a dedicated AC unit. Uh, if you watch the video from Paul's Hardware where he's looking at this thing, he actually shows you the cooling solution, and it's a giant AC unit that they got rigged up to the motherboard that it was running on in that booth, and that one happened to be basically just a mock-up thrown together by Gigabyte, running a 32-phase VRM setup. And, I mean, it's impressive. They got a Skylake X chip with, of course, an exotic cooling solution up to 5 gigahertz. But again, that cooling solution is running at negative 10 Celsius. So you're not going to get it to 5 gigahertz without that kind of thing. I'm not going to get it to 5 gigahertz without that kind of cooling. So it's quite a bit misleading, and it's a bit irritating. But hey, 28 cores, right? Now, so they thought they had AMD beat. Last thing on the docket, guys. AMD not only announced the Threadripper 2 line, they also stated that a 24-core variant is in the pipeline, along with a 32-core 64 thread. So they've taken their EPYC chips from their servers. So they're doing basically the same thing, but they're tweaking it a bit more. So they're taking their EPYC chip, and where EPYC has 8-channel memory and 128 PCIe lanes because of the way that the dies are set up and the CCX modules are interconnected in there. What they've done with this 32 core on Threadripper is they've cut direct access away from the memory controller and half of the PCIe lanes. I say half, but that basically just limits it to the 64 lanes that we're used to from Threadripper anyway, and it leaves us with quad channel instead of 8-channel memory and 128 PCIe lanes that EPYC offers, because hey, they have to be competitive in the server space too. So both of them are taking their server chips and rebranding them, tweaks here and there. I feel AMD is giving us a bit more tweak to justify it a bit more. But I mean, that's up to you. Leave a comment and tell me what you think about that. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. It was fairly short, but I just wanted to go over some of the cool stuff that I'd seen so far at Computex. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If not, you know what to do. Get subscribed to the channel, take a look at the website, and you guys have a fantastic evening. We'll see you next time.